Okay, we are going to take these four bases I already have made. Got veneer on basswood, cork on MDF, a black acrylic, and veneer on basswood. I'm gonna take these. Of course, I've already cut them out and put the holes in them. I'll put my design, cut out my designs, and we're gonna do a few resin projects. It's pretty fun, but that's what we're gonna do next. Are going to start a new project. All right, let me pull in my templates. Let's see which ones I want to use. I'm just going to go here. So I have some boards down here. We will move all these to the side so I can save it later. I'm actually not going to cut these out. I'm just kind of using them as a guide. I need one more. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead while I've got just that on the board and set that to make sure my output is to no, because I've already had them cut out, so I don't want to cut them out. All right, now let's grab our designs. All right, let's see. Import. Okay, hold on. Let me pull the bottom one, see if I can trace it. I don't know if I can or not, though. And this one will go here. You see my theme. I got a candy theme on this little set I'm doing. Click edit, and then you can trace. Save. I'll throw this away. Delete. Edit. Trace. Save. Delete. Edit. Trace. Okay. I didn't want those little thingy doochies. That's why I did it that way. Save. Hit the background. Delete. This one might be a little harder. Let's see. Edit. Trace. It looks good. Save. And delete. Okay. This one I'm leaving whole like that. This one I'm going to release because I only want to cut out the inner parts. And let's score the outers. Okay. These all are cut. This one is cut. This one, if I cut it if I cut it. If I cut the outside, obviously, like the whole thing would be gone, which I can do that. I do that sometimes. Should I do that now? And I'll like place the pieces back in. We'll do. Here, we got to release this one so we can get the pieces. This is going to be a score. This will be a cut. This will be a cut. I can grab more of these at once if I want, but it's fine. Cut. And cut. Alright, I always do like a preview real quick before I even do anything else to kind of see if we're on the same page. I'll need to save that little doochie right there. Yep, that's what I want. Okay. And I'll put my boards in and then I can adjust these better. Okay, let's do a snapshot. Well, we're going to connect to our machine first. Okie dokie, now I can line these up.
Okay, so yeah, I'm just using what I already had to line them up in the machine where I had taken my little snapshot. And then I went through and realized I didn't really have the cut settings that I wanted for each one. So I just quickly did that for y'all. You didn't have to watch me do that. It's kind of what you already had watched me do, but I was adjusting it to what I had. And then I'll push start and we'll get our cut out.
Okay, let's have some fun. We got these cut out. Aren't they cute? Our little candy things. And I went ahead and picked out some uh, backing paper. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to start with. Let's start with this one. I think it's going to be the easiest, so we'll start with this one and set these others aside. And I will use one of these glitters for my backing. On this one, I think I'm going to go I'm going to use the blue for this one. So we'll set our other glitters aside as well. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out to fit where it fits right underneath my hole marks and fits on the board. Just going to eyeball this. In my glitter, whenever I cut glitter, I don't know about y'all, but I like to stick it in the center of the board and then go out. I feel like I get a cleaner cut that way. All right. Looks good. Let's cut off some length here. But just and yep, happy with that. My backer. And we will glue it down just like this. Okay. I've got some Star Bond thick here. I've actually broken it. I broke it the other day working on something. That's okay. We will use a little rubber thing to get closer if we need to. Okay, when I'm gluing on my backers, I get close around my subject, right? Whatever my subject is. And then I go around the edge of the paper. I'll show you what I mean. Let me get a, since I broke my tip off this, let me get a plastic brush. So it can work. Okay, so what I mean, so that way I know I can get all the edges. But I also don't want to go outside the edges of my paper. So then I will actually do the gluing on the edges of my paper. Cow monkey nut balls. I just glued that on the wrong side. I do that all the time because you're so used to gluing glitter paper the other way. I'm just going to wipe it and fix it because I'm actually going to glue something on the back of this and it'll be fine. Okay, this side. Just a little bit of filler glue in here. It's a good thing I already had my gloves on. I'm already making a mess. Okay, so we got our backer on. I'll let that dry for a second because I made a mess. It's around like the edges that you want to make sure, just because you don't want the resin to pour out. Speaking of, I forgot one of my resins. Okay, and then we're going to do our filling. I think for the bow, I want to leave it blue, so I'm going to use clear on the bow. Let's see, what do y'all think? We can use transparent or we can use solid glue. Solid glues. I've got in the this UV resin, I've got transparent and I have opaque. Use it to give it a little bit of a different look. On these Carol Curso. I I'm not sure the brand, but these always have that double.
Okay, I'm just gonna pick the colors I like and fill it up. I didn't realize here, but my color was completely wrong on my uh recording settings, and I didn't realize, you'll see it in a little bit, my colors will change because they were more vibrant. And here, of course, I was using a variety of colors to go around this little candy that I was making. and I'll adjust that. But yeah, the colors were completely muted. It was really strange. But yeah, so I just fill that up how, just use your imagination. I like using this little picker tool to get in the little corners or little edges to fill that in. And it's really helpful to just kind of, just pull it in there. And I'm using the clear on the bow because I just want the glitter from the cardstock to show through. I thought that would be super cute.
Put the UV light on it, and then if I want, what I can go back and do if I look at it and I want it to be raised, is I just go put this on another coat, just as like the bubble top. It's got a cute look to it, especially when you're doing the candy look. I've been looking at some of the like other processes, that you could use the UV lights or lamps, and something I could set up. I don't know. I haven't been overwhelmed to get anything yet. Nothing that looked, I don't know, magical. You really shouldn't have your bottles sitting here with your light. Let's see what I could do here. So there we go. Number one. You can kind of see the glitter in the background. But it's cute. And then you just got the number one.
Now I'm gonna do the cherries. Do the same thing. I'll just cut out your background, cut out your cardstock or whatever you're using as your backer, and fix it to your paper.
Okay, same process. I'll just fast forward through this for y'all. Okay, so that's how I piece something together like that needs to go back in. I think I'm going to do just clear on the little cherries, but
Yeah, so we're gonna color in the cherries. Gonna do green for the stems, a couple different colors. See, this green was more vibrant than this, but you'll see it in a minute. And then clear on the cherry so I can just see that pink through, so that'll be cute. And then um use a couple different colors, just give it some depth to a couple different colors in the green, and it'll give it a little different look, and then kind of pull it down into the top of the cherry, and that'll kind of like look, like it would on an actual cherry. Thought that would be cute. But yeah, and this had a really cute look to it. I was happy with how this one came out. And you take the fire, I'm using the lighter. When I'm using the lighter, it's just because I'm getting air bubbles out, and I'm using this to balance. When I'm putting these on each side, I'm just using it to balance it. That you see there, I did the light. Okay, here's where I finally realized my color was off. That one of those cardstocks in the beginning that looked gray was actually this bright, vibrant yellow color. So I actually looked up and saw how my colors were, but this one turned out really cute. Used a lot of different colors in the candies, and also mixed in a little bit of the opaque white, kind of like, how you get those candies that's got the color with a little swirl of white, and that ended up being really cute. And I'll just take in the clear and putting it on each end of like a little faux wrapper, so you'll just see the yellow through, and to me, it looks like a actual little candy wrapper. So that ended up being really cute. And I just go through the process of filling all those in. And that's how I make my candy journals, or any resin journals, really. You just go through the process of cutting them out and you're filling in the empty space, and you get a really unique look because you can, like, just here, I used it on all kinds of, different things, cork, wood, and the acrylic, which the acrylic actually didn't turn out. It I think because it was so slick, when it just kind of came over the sides, it was really odd and kind of slid around. So I'm gonna have to play with that a little bit more. Either you can't fill it up all the way to the top, you like have to leave it kind of sunk in, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to play with that some more because, like I said, that resin just overflowed, kind of like slipped. It's kind of slipped out the edges of the acrylic. So definitely, that was definitely a fail on that one. But that's okay. We'll play with that some more and figure it out. But yeah, um, like I said, here's a little hack. I just took the two boards and set it on either side so I could use my lamp hand free, and then I just kept turning it to make sure that I was getting, all of my little candies in there, um, processed or heated up and evenly. So here is my finished product. I thought it turned out really good, really cute. It almost looks like real little candies in there. And there's those and the cherries. They're cute too. I might have overfilled them just a tad. It's okay though. And that almost looks like it's got a little package on it because I went back and did like a clear layer on top. It's so cute. I'll show you here how what I mean about, yeah. See how that it just kind of came over the edge, and that was when it was, yeah, I'm not sure. That was when it was heating. I didn't even see it happen. But it's a good idea to always do the back as well. Like you see, yeah, do the back as well like that, so you feel like your resin gets cured all the way through. But it was a lot of fun, and y'all join me again, and I hope you enjoyed.